I'll be honest, I didn't expect this parkrun to be so hard, but I also didn't expect it to be this beautiful.
Good morning everyone, it is Saturday again and I am back for parkrun number 11 on this challenge to run and review every single one of Sydney's parkruns. Today I'm on the outer edge of Sydney at Galston Parkrun, recommended to me by Ting, who suggested I get out here and experience the beauty of the area. I've heard this parkrun circles just about every national garden on earth and it is tougher than it looks. So I'm definitely keen to check this one out, tick it off on my journey and see what it's like. Come and join me, let's go.
Today there was a slightly smaller crowd than usual, and there's a very simple explanation for that. The Socceroos were playing at 4 AM this morning, and clearly a decent chunk of the regulars decided that watching the World Cup took priority over showing up here. Which does raise the question of how many people in this crowd went straight from full time to the start line without going to bed at all. There's a real chance a solid portion of this field is still half cut and had a few celebratory drinks before showing up at parkrun, and if anyone falls suspiciously slow of their usual time today, I think we all know why. As the briefing comes to an end, there's a usual shuffle towards the front from the people who know exactly how fast they're going, and everyone else drifting comfortably into the middle and the back, trying to not get stuck behind a pram. Smaller crowd, same energy, and possibly the most hungover start line I've stood on for this challenge so far.
Here's the man himself, Ting. Make sure you go check out his YouTube or his Instagram, he has both, so I'll put the links in the description below.
Let's quickly talk about getting here. This one is simple and straightforward. Car, there's your options, not much more to say than that. Unless you're hiking to parkrun on Friday night, I would recommend driving. This one is located in the very north of Sydney in the Hills District, and public transport is minimal unless you like taking 3 buses and a metro at 5 AM in the morning to get there by 8. Get in your car, type Galston Parkrun in your navigation app of choice, and off you go. Galston Parkrun is located at Fagan Park and there is plenty of parking available, however it does cost $7 with a minimal free street parking available. Galston Parkrun launched in 2016 with an impressive 250 people showing up for the debut run. The event takes place in the beautiful Fagan Park, which is home to the gardens of many nations, which you'll pass as you're doing laps of the park. As you complete your laps, you will pass by, in order, the African, Mediterranean, Japanese, Australian, English, Dutch, South American and North American gardens, and on the second lap only, the Chinese garden. What other parkrun can you say you are visiting several different countries and continents in a 5-kilometre run? Galston is an 8 AM start. Finally a sleep in, I thought, except it's not, because unless you live in the Hills District, you're going to be driving for a while to get there. Once again, it was a very early alarm clock to get out here, but the views were worth it once I managed to wake up. These are the sacrifices I am making for this journey. Someone please comment roads. Right, the course, 3 laps and about 25 metres of elevation on each one, so that's the same hill 3 times by the end. Nobody mentions that part when they tell you it's scenic. I felt it on lap 2 and again on lap 3, which is when it actually starts to add up. You start up near the main car park at the top of the park, and every lap runs clockwise down to the bottom and back up again. It's mostly sealed path with a bit of grass wide enough to overtake without any drama, and it takes you past lakes, bridges and gardens the whole way round. Good distraction from the fact you're climbing the same hill on repeat. The laps also aren't all the same, which catches some people out. First and third lap you head straight back up to the top. Second lap you get a 600 metre detour around the Chinese gardens at the bottom of the park, so you can't just switch off and run the same loop 3 times, because it is not the same loop 3 times. Then once you back up near the car park, there's one more loop around the playground before you're actually done. Small detail, but if you're counting down the meters like I was, it matters. You can see the finish, you can hear the finish, and the course still makes you go around the playground first. By the end of it, you've covered 3 laps, 1 detour, a good amount of climbing, and passed more gardens than most people see on an actual holiday.
That was a lot tougher than it looks. But so nice out there. Very beautiful course.
Post-run, Galston does what the smaller parkruns tend to do well, which is make you feel like you've arrived somewhere rather than just finished a run. Great crew of volunteers, timing and barcode scanning was well organised, and nobody batted an eyelid at my finish time, which I was grateful for of 3 laps after that hill. Today I chatted to Karen, who is a long-time regular of Galston and an amazing volunteer, to ask her about Galston Parkrun and parkrun in general.
With Karen, who is one of the run directors here at Galston. Tell me, Karen, what do you love most about Galston Parkrun that you don't think runners appreciate enough?
I'm in the hills.
Yeah.
They suck, but they're really good for training.
Yeah.
And we've just got a great community. We've got 93-year-olds out here running, and there's a 70-year-old that often beats me. It's a great community.
That's awesome. And what would you say to someone who is nervous about coming to parkrun for the first time?
Come to Galston, because we'll be really lovely to you. We're really great RD team, really friendly, we've had some shitty times and we're coming through the end of that. So yeah, it's good. It's a great team.
Yeah, I think the community at Parkrun is super welcoming, and that's what's great about Parkrun. Everyone, it doesn't matter how fast you are, how slow you are, everyone is welcome at Parkrun. I think that's what makes these communities great. So thank you very much, Karen, for all your volunteering here at Galston. I had a great time.
So, what's the verdict on Galston? Further out than most people will want to drive on a Saturday, hillier than advertised, but admittedly a very beautiful area I probably would have never explored if I hadn't come here to do Parkrun. So the question really is whether it's worth that drive, and for me, the answer is yes. The course and the community is the reason. 3 laps, real elevation each time, and the fact that the laps aren't identical means you're paying attention for all 5 kilometers rather than switching off after the first loop. That's rarer than it should be. A lot of parkruns settle into the same loop 3 times and let you run on autopilot. Galston doesn't let you do that, and I think it's better for it. It's also just a genuinely nice place to be early on a Saturday. Lakes, bridges, gardens from all around the world, and enough greenery that it barely feels like Sydney. If you're the kind of runner who cares about scenery as much as time, this is one of the better ones I've done so far on this challenge. Where it loses a bit of ground is accessibility. No real public transport option, an 8 AM start that means an early alarm for most of the city, and a course that's genuinely tough if you're chasing a fast time. This isn't the parkrun to bring your first timer if their main goal is enjoying themselves without suffering a bit. Would I come back? Yes. Would I do it every week? Probably not, just based on logistics, but it is exactly the kind of parkrun this challenge exists to find.
So that was Galston completed. Beautiful course with a wide range of gardens, lakes, bridges, and heaps of wildlife as well. What a fantastic community out here of Galston, and they have built something special. I would highly recommend making the trip out here and ticking it off your list. This is the Sydney Parkrun Challenge, all 35 of Sydney's parkruns, one at a time. If you want to choose where I go next week, drop a comment below. The first one I haven't reviewed yet wins. Make sure you hit subscribe to follow on the journey. These videos take around 15 hours to complete each week, so if you enjoyed it or you just want to follow along, I would greatly appreciate it if you could give me a like on this video. This series so far has been a lot of fun, and there are some absolutely fantastic people I've met along the way so far, so I'm looking forward to continuing this journey. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great week.